Hi, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be telling you the story of my first panic attack. I don't think there's anything else to say, so let's just get started. So my first panic attack was around the beginning of year 8. It was in that September. I'm now about to go into year 10, so like we're getting to the end of year 9. So it was around 2 years ago, I'd say, ish, a year and a bit. So not that long ago. I do have one thing to say before the video starts, and that's I do have so many supportive friends and family around me that help me through all of this. They understand and they're just all so supportive. So I have amazing people with me to help me through this, and yeah, I just want to say that before it starts because I have so many people that help me with this and they understand, and it's just amazing how many supportive people are around. So I remember this happened on a Monday because the night before, which was on a Sunday, I went for a meal with my auntie, uncle and my cousin. It was for my cousin's birthday and her birthday's in September, so I definitely know that this was in September, so the beginning of year 8. So I am super close with all my family, like super close, and we were just talking about my dad and year 7 and 6. I should have said that 6 and 7. I'm not going to go into detail about that because that is for a completely different video, both of them subjects. But we were talking about that and how upsetting it is, and we were just talking about how bad it is and all the things that happened, and how it's just for a completely different video. I don't want to go into too much detail, but just about how bad it is and upsetting. So we were just talking about that. So obviously that got me thinking, that got my head all twisted. Well, not twisted, that's a bad word to use. It got me thinking about it again and remembering, which is never really a good thing to do. In some circumstances it is. That's a hard word to say. But in this one it's just kind of a bad thing to do, and I shouldn't have thought about it, but I did. I personally think I've always been quite an anxious person all the way through my life, a little bit. Like, I've always been just a bit more cautious and anxious than everybody else who I've been around. At this moment of time, there was also another thing going on at school. So instead of outside of school, there was another thing going on inside of school with this boy. Not going to name who it is, but yeah, I don't talk to him anymore, obviously, but there was just this thing going on with him as well. So I had quite a lot of things on my plate and just thinking about it. And keep in mind I was probably around 12. I think I was about 12 at this time, so that's quite a lot for a 12-year-old. So that night I went to sleep really anxious, which is never a good thing to do. I didn't know because I've never experienced this before. I've never really experienced that kind of anxiousness before, so I didn't really know what to do, and I thought sleeping would be the best thing to do, which it weren't. So I went to sleep, and then I woke up at 4 AM and I couldn't go back to sleep because my heart was racing. I was like, what is going on? Like, this is so not me. Like, I'm usually quite a chill person, and yeah, it's just, I didn't know what was going on at all. So I did the worst thing you could do when you can't get to sleep, and I got my iPad and started watching YouTube videos, and I went on Netflix and watched a series I'm watching still. I was up for 2.5 hours more than I'm supposed to be because I get up at 6:30. So I was really tired that day, which also didn't help because I went to bed quite late because I couldn't get to sleep. So I got like probably 4 hours of sleep, and I was like super tired because I don't deal well with being tired. I'm not a good tired person. So when I was getting ready for school, I told my mum I feel quite anxious, but I didn't tell her I felt anxious because I didn't know I felt anxious because I've never felt it before. I just told her how I felt, and she said, see how you get on and text me if you need to come home or anything like that. So I just went to school. Well, I went to my friend's house, then we went to school. So when I went in drama, someone came up to me and they told me something which made me kind of mad and upset. Like, it was in between of mad and upset, which really got me. Whew. And when someone told me that, this was the first lesson, so it was actually a proper crap day, to be fair. This whole day, like, it was absolutely terrible. So that was only the first lesson let alone I had 4 more other lessons to go through. Then I went to my second lesson feeling really anxious and and that lesson was maths, and in maths I sit near the window. I still sit in that place. I sit near the window and it's downstairs. Don't know why I'm telling you that. You don't need to know where my class is, do you? And obviously whilst I was in maths I was thinking about it, like, you just got told something, you're not just going to wipe it over your head unless you're that sort of person. I'm not. I just kept on thinking about it and thinking about it, and I thought about it so much until the point when I started crying. And I did that in lesson, and I don't usually do that unless I'm having a panic attack. That's the only time I'll ever cry in lesson, and even then I still hate it because I hate the fact of people seeing me weak in a way. Like, I hate it. This is not therapy. So I started crying, and my 2 friends sit behind me. That's Aaliyah and Mia. They sit behind me and they saw I was crying. They were like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And then this other boy came up to me. It's not the boy I had the problem with, it's this other boy. He came up to me and was like, "Are you okay?" And I just didn't speak. I just blanked them out completely. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, I just had no idea what was going on at all at this point. Like, I was just like, what is going on with me? I'm never usually like this. And then I kind of stopped. I was like, "Get it together, Chloe. What are you doing crying? Like, just stop." So I stopped, and then the break bell went. So I was just like, thank God I can just get out of this classroom. Because till this day I still find that classroom like a trigger to set off my panic attacks because of all their memories. But yeah, I was just like, get me out of this classroom now. So we sit outside for break, and we still do now. So I went outside, and it was really good that I went outside and we don't sit inside, because now I know what I'm going through. That would have been a terrible, terrible, terrible decision. So through the whole of break I was kind of okay. I kind of got it out of my mind, yet I was still thinking about it, and I thought, oh, I'm not thinking about it too much, maybe it will just go and I'll be able to enjoy the day. So the bell went to go to lessons, and when that goes you just get this school rush and everybody just walks to their lessons, and there's so many of us. It's so crowded, and it's terrible when you're feeling how I was feeling. So I was about to walk to lesson when I turned to my best friends Mia, Aaliyah and Jenny, and I just said to them, I can't go to lesson, I'm not gonna go. Like, I was like, I was full on shaking. I was just like, I can't go because I know I'm just gonna like break down. Like, I know I'm just gonna start crying again, and I just can't. So once the school rush, and I just would not go to that lesson. I knew if I did not go to my base, then I was still I would just sky that lesson, because I knew I was not going to go that lesson no matter what, because I just was not in the right frame of thoughts and just was not in the right mood at all. So I went and sat down on the bench, and as I was really like annoyed and upset and there were so many emotions, I kind of just like swung my bags on the floor, like chucked them, and then this girl came past and she was like, "When Bae's mad and she chucks her bags." That really annoyed me. So then when the school rush died down, I stood up again and I was feeling a bit better, and I thought about it again because I saw that boy, and I turned around and Aaliyah and Jenny went to their lessons, because I said to Mia, "Can you wait with me?" because she was in my lesson. So I just turned around to Mia and was just like, I just had a breakdown on her shoulder. I started crying. I started like, I've forgotten what it's called when you breathe really fast. Hyperventilating. I started hyperventilating. Don't know if I'm saying that right. I just had a breakdown on her shoulder and I just started crying. So then she took me to Welling Base about 10 minutes after. So I had the panic attack with Mia outside, and I didn't know what to do because I was just like, what? And my mascara was all over my face because I've been crying, and obviously wiped my eyes with a tear. I think I got a bit of makeup on Mia's blazer as well, but... So when she took me to Welling Base, I spoke to one of the teachers who deals with like panic attacks and anxiety and other stuff like that. So Mia left and went to her lesson, and I sat in there and she asked me, "Do you know why this is caused? Like, what caused this?" And I didn't say anything because I'm not one to open up about everything. Like, I'm quite a closed book, which isn't always the best thing, but in the end I did tell her because I thought it was for the best and I knew it was the right thing to do. So I told her what's probably caused it, and then she obviously rang my mum, told my mum to pick me up, and yeah, that's basically how it all started. A few days after that I went to the doctors because the teacher advised us to go to the doctors about it, and he said the next time it happens, make sure you come back to the doctors and we'll speak about it. So the next time it happened, which was about 2 or 3 weeks later, and I can still remember that one, but there's no point saying that because it will just be the same as this one. We went back to the doctors, and obviously he diagnosed me with anxiety and everything like that. And everybody goes to me, when's the anxiety gonna go? And I'm like, no matter how many therapy sessions you have or how many pills you take or medication, I personally don't take medication for it, but no matter how many, if you do take medication and you do go to a therapy, no matter how much you get of that, it probably still won't all leave your body. Like, I don't know, it's just never gonna really go. I'm always probably gonna have it. It has got a bit better over the years, but I think that's because, well, over the year and a bit, 2 years, but I think that's because I've kind of learned how to handle it. I've had people to talk to, and yeah, I've just kind of learned to deal with it now. The first month or two was really, really hard having them, like I just didn't know what to do, but now I figured out how to kind of calm myself, and I know I can just walk out the classroom. Like, I used to be scared to do that, but now I know, just walk out the classroom, get some fresh air. So yeah, that is how it all started. Once again, I want to say thank you to everybody who is always so supportive with all of this, all my friends and all of my family. They're always so supportive, and they always understand, and they never like have anything bad to say about it, if you get what I mean by that. Yeah, I do have amazing people around me that I can always talk to, and they can always understand, so thank you for that. And yeah, this video is a bit different in a way, but I just thought I would share it to show you my experience, and that it may help you in a way. I don't know how, it just might. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Bye.